Hi, this is Gladys again with David's Journey 2021. And for those of you that maybe haven't heard the previous videos, this is about my journey with my son before he passed away in 2021. He was my youngest son. And I'm here definitely to leave a legacy of his memory, but I'm also here to be a bridge for other parents that have lost children, and sometimes it's very hard to cope with. The emotions are very raw, and I don't think that's something that we can deny. They'll always be raw for us as parents. But in the previous video, I talked about denial. And that's really the first stage that we find ourselves after the loss of a child. We go into, well, I developed PTS, I developed a trauma, and I couldn't conceive in my own mind, in my own thinking, that my son had died. And so what I did, I went into denial. And I think getting a lot of feedback from the funeral, I didn't speak to probably anyone. I didn't even know what was going on at the funeral. I was just in denial. The lack of acceptance was there. Also, the trauma of it. And that plays a major, major part. And I think it's connected with the denial. So we move into the denial phase, and then we're traumatized, and we say, no, this didn't really happen. And you walk around, and maybe other parents can really relate to me. You walk around like a zombie. You don't know if you're coming, you're going. The outbursts of anger, the outbursts of crying, not understanding why, even though in your mind you knew if your son was sick or however they passed away, you already know that in your mind, but yet you cannot conceive it at that moment. And that's where that denial phase comes in. But the thing about that is, every parent is different. You could be in denial for 2 or 3 years. You can be in denial a month. Who is to say what's right and what's wrong? No one is really an expert except those people that have experienced the loss of a child. I was probably in denial maybe for the first year. I still thought when the phone would ring, it would be him. I still could hear his voice calling me, would say, hey, mama. I could still all that. And so to me, because that was the imagination or the hallucination of it, it really heightened me to believe that he had not died. So again, that took a deeper level of denial. And that was really, really a difficult time for me. And I can say I'm 5 years into it, but it's still very, very raw and still very difficult. It's like sometimes I can't believe he's gone, yet I know he is. And so for you parents, or for anybody that's on YouTube that is coming across my channel, understand that all those feelings, all those things, all those emotions are all normal when we lose a child. They're normal even when you lose parents and siblings like I have. But when it comes to your own child, it's just like 1,000,000% more. It's like very raw. And I want to be able to share my experiences and how slowly I came out of denial. But before I came out of denial, the second phase is anger. And that's a normal response when a parent loses a child. Yeah, I was very angry. I was angry at God. I was angry at the universe. I was angry at myself. I was angry at him. I kept going over in my mind all the things that I could have done to prevent his death, yet there was really nothing I could have done. I went through the stage of anger and then also regrets, and we'll talk about that probably in the next video. But it was a lot of anger, anger at myself, anger that, even anger with the doctors. I just felt, maybe I could have found a better doctor, or maybe I should have done this, or maybe he should have taken care of himself. it was always those kinds of things that became very explosive for me in the area of anger. And that anger is a normal emotion for a parent or parents that have lost a child. It is very, very normal. The downside of anger is we cannot stay angry for the rest of our days. So I can say now, at this time, today is August 1st, 2026, I'm not angry anymore, but I was, because already it's been 5 years and a month. On August 2nd, it will be 5 years and 2 months. But I'm not angry anymore, but I'm laying out everything, my own experience, and slowly we will talk about how I got through it. It doesn't happen overnight. It does, and I'll give some key things that will help you get beyond the denial and beyond the anger, because there's also acceptance. There's just many, many different phases. One is the bargaining, and we'll talk about that in probably the next video, so you can see what happens with the emotions and the mind of a parent that have lost a child. So many different phases they go through, and if someone has not lost a child, they may not understand why that person is going through these phases. They can't even relate. They can have empathy, they can have love for them and mercy and compassion, but they would never be able to understand because they never lost a child. And a lot of times, even at the beginning of me losing David, people would say, well, yes, I lost my sister or I lost my parents, but it's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. It's very, very different. Grief is grief. Yes, and mourning is very different. Now, I can tell you, at this time of my life without David, I'm not grieving or mourning anymore, but I was. It was just a depression set in, not wanting to go on, not wanting to live without him. You know, all these things are very normal. If you talk to me now, 5 years later, of course I feel different. I want to go on. I want to live. I want to leave a legacy about my son. But again, all these emotions and all these things that I'm referring to, these are very normal things for parents or a parent that has lost a child. Now, if you come into my YouTube channel and you're not you're not a parent that has lost a child, it doesn't mean that you can gain some insight to this. You can gain some insight and some wisdom and maybe help a parent, maybe that's not on my channel, to help them get through these avenues and these phases. I call them the phases that we have to go through. And I can tell you at this present time, no, I'm not grieving and I am not mourning, but it is still very difficult for me. And how I am really finding those things out about me, just spending quality time looking within me and finding how raw my emotions are still. So let's leave it with this video for today. It's August 2nd. Please, if you come in this site, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm just beginning. This will be my fourth video. I don't have a banner yet. I don't have a thumbnail. Not yet, but I will work on that. But really laying out my heart, my emotions, and my feelings concerning David's journey. And I put David's journey, that's the name of the channel, David's Journey 2021, because he passed on 2021. Have a great day. Thank you.